Hi everybody, this is my Corvette seat aftermarket install overview. I'm not going to go over the process of installing this, but I will go over the problems I had installing this. Basically, driver seat, this is all manual. I don't have power seat at all. So I had to remove the harness out of the original seat. And it was pretty easy, very straightforward. This is the seat control module, the black box, and one of these is the, let's see if I can see that. Nope. That is the heater seat control module. Don't really need it, just need the regular seat control module. You don't need the heater at all. If you take out the original seat, it's pretty straightforward, just 4 bolts. A little bit hard to get to, 15 millimeters wrench. So before doing this, I had to buy a what do you call it, the Corvette C6 airbag simulator. I had to buy 2 of them. Here's one of them. You'll notice that you'll need it. This orange plug prevents it from falling off, so you'll need that to get rid of the airbag light. You will also need another seat simulator, which is this piece right here. When you take it apart, you can put this piece on. The original one is somewhere around here. Oh no, the original one's on the original seat. Now I remember. I already sold off the seat. So before selling off the seat, I had to remove 2 things from there. And notice that these 2 wires were stuck to the seat, so I had to cut them right here, and here, to remove them from the seat. It was a little bit painful. There was no way to remove it without tearing the seat completely apart. So it was better just to cut them, because I could remove the seatbelt tensioner right here. The seatbelt tensioner comes with 2 plugs, and these are the 2 that I had to cut off. I couldn't even remove it. It was a pretty tight tolerance. So cut them off, solder them on. Pretty straightforward. It's not that bad at all. You definitely need all these pieces to get rid of that airbag light. So I bought these Corbeau Evolution X racing seats, sort of. They do not recline at all. They're fixed. So I was pretty comfortable with it. That's why I bought it. Another thing I had a problem with was when I was installing the seat belt, the nut came out of there. So I had to get a little bit creative and put another bolt and nut that's in there. Told TPS about it, but they, was it Muck from TPS? But I guess he just acknowledged it, but didn't really reply to me. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. So this piece right here, it broke off. It was a pretty weak weld, you know. So it broke off on the driver's side. Luckily, it didn't break on the passenger side. I was still able to use that. So, yeah. This piece broke off. So I had to put a regular bolt and nut that's going through there. I also had to tape off all the edges. If you don't, you're gonna scratch your car, because I already did. That's not fun. Wasn't too happy about that. And that, the seat's pretty straightforward. It goes right in. The only problem I had was clearance issues. I also told TPS about that too. Let's see, where is it? I had problems with this. I had to take this off, re-drill it, moved it to the right a little bit. So the 3 holes, they do fit. 1, 2, and 3. But the 4th hole didn't, so I had to re-drill that. Because of that, it wasn't really fitting. When you install the seat, it wasn't, if you're short, it's not gonna move all the way forward. But if you're tall, you'll be fine because it's able to roll backwards. So on the driver's side, I was unable to move forward because of the slider issues and a little bit of tolerances here, but I did drill it out. But I'll probably have to straighten it out later when I have more time. But a little bit difficult to do if you don't know what you're doing, and if you didn't buy any seat stimulators, then you're gonna struggle for a while. You're gonna have that airbag light, it's gonna stay on. So yes, it's easy once you remove the harness, control module, cut those 2 wires from the seat tensioner I just showed you. And once you buy the seat, then you have to make sure that the seat bracket actually fits onto the slider of the seat. So that's one problem I had. So if you're mechanically inclined, you'll probably more likely just drill it out, make a bigger hole. You either ream it out or you drill a second hole. I just reamed it out. Sorry, I didn't drill a second hole for that. So this is pretty straightforward so far. I had to remove the rooftop to get the clearance to remove the seat out of the way. Otherwise it's gonna get in your way. And for those who have power seat on the driver's side, if you have that occupant sensor, then you're definitely gonna be encountering one of these. A little bit more drama. It's only on the passenger side on my 2007. I heard that on the later models, this gel occupant sensor is on the driver's side. So before you sell your seat, you should really remove this occupant sensor. And if you don't, then you probably have to buy one on eBay, because this is the one I bought on eBay. The guy I sold my seats to didn't want to sell me back this gel seat occupant sensor because he didn't really knew what was going on. But it's the one with the gray padding. This came with a gray padding. It was the only one that looked kind of awkward. When you look underneath the seat, you see the yellow padding, and then you notice a gray padding in a H form. That's the occupant sensor. So it looks like an H, as you can see. So I leave this. I would leave this in the back. If I have a child in the passenger seat, I'll definitely roll this up with a zip tie, and it'll activate the passenger seat. Passenger airbag will be activated to be on, so you can use the airbags on the passenger side. So you will need this, and you will roll it up if you have somebody on the passenger side. If you yourself are sitting on the driver's side and this is on there, you probably have to roll it up too as well to activate the airbag on the driver's side. So that's the drawback. Can't really hide it. I can roll it in there and tuck it under there. It's a pain in the ass. As you can see, the driver's seat is pretty much straightforward to it as well. I had to cut those 2 wires for the seatbelt tensioner. I had to get the airbag stimulator times 2. You can see that right here. This is the stimulator on the passenger side. And then the second stimulator is right here. The orange cable that prevents this from coming out. I guess mine came out. I'll just reconnect it. I also don't have the heater memory module as well. You don't really, is that my memory module? I don't think so. I gotta check what this is. Other than that, I'll just leave it hanging loose. I should leave it a little bit better so that the rails don't cut it. I'll do that later. Now, it does have some clearance issues once you install the seat. On the passenger, I didn't have any issues with the sliders. They rolled back perfectly. They were perfect. The sliders were really perfect on the passenger side. I bought the seat belt clip as a stimulator in case I get more airbag lights. All right, let's roll the seat back. So it does clear here. See that? Barely. But it definitely hits right here. That's my only problem. I can't roll the seat all the way back. Otherwise, when you're driving, you hear the sound. You hear that rubbing sound when you're driving on the passenger side. It kind of sucks, but over here it's clear, and down there it's pretty clear. So yeah, before installing these seats, I looked on the Corvette forum a lot. Couldn't find any straight answers. Found a couple straight answers, but it's, you know, it's mostly I guess when you do this now, a whole lot of people will explain it. But the thing that left my airbag light on the whole entire time was this. I was missing this, and I was missing the occupant sensor, the gel pad that's down there. So that gave me an airbag light for almost 2 months, and it took me a while because I gotta wait for parts and the occupant sensor, and finally it cleared out. So this is my review of the Corbeau Evolution X seat. It's okay, I like it. It's fixed. I don't have to incline or recline or decline or incline. I'm about 5'6". It fits me well. For a guy that was sitting on it who was I think he was 6 feet. He was 5'10" or 6 feet. He had a hard time. It didn't fit him too well. I told him he might have to get a bucket seat without the rails so he can go all the way to the back. But mine's a little higher because of the sliders. So, all right, thank you.